What we create changes us. Every performance, a new chapter. Every stage, a new beginning.
So we're almost here, Super Bowl 55. The halftime entertainment is going to be put on by Toronto's own The Weeknd. I'm here with Jane Stevenson. The Weeknd is pouring $7 million of his own dollars into this halftime performance, Jane. What can we expect Sunday night?
Well, I think the big clue is the title of his hit song, Blinding Lights. If you watched The Weeknd in recent months, when he's performed on a show, he has brought the pyro and then some. He was at the top of Hudson Yards in New York City for the MTV Awards. He kicked off the show with one of the best openings I've ever seen of a show, actually. And it was during the pandemic, and there were barges in the river, exploding fireworks. It was really quite mesmerizing. The other thing he did was he walked across a bridge, same idea, exploding fireworks during the AMAs. I think Blinding Lights is kind of the theme of his Super Bowl performance, if you ask me.
Okay, he's got that bandage face look. What songs do you anticipate that he plays? He's got a greatest hits out this weekend.
You know, I'm so glad you mentioned the bandage face because I wanted to talk about that. I think it detracts from his performance. I'm really hoping maybe he starts with bandages and gets rid of them. You know, he's a good-looking guy. It would be okay for the rest of us to see his face once and for all. I know it's a theme. He's making a comment about Hollywood, but enough with the bandages. Take him off for the Super Bowl. You're right. He has a greatest hits. Blinding Lights, In Your Eyes, Can't Feel My Face, I Feel It Coming, Starboy more. He only has 13 minutes though, Mark, to put all of this into a show. And if there's a surprise guest, which would be fun, there could be some kind of medley exchange in the song catalogs.
Okay, I know you love to think about other bands that possibly could have done the halftime show. Jane, who else would you have liked to have seen this year?
Well, I think the Foo Fighters were queued up perfectly. They have a new album in February. They're an amazing rock band. Maybe they said no this year. We'll never really know the behind-the-scenes machinations. Maybe one year they can do it. Also, Fleetwood Mac's having a fun year with Dreams and the skateboard guy. It would have been fun to see him come down a big ramp into that big stadium, and everybody probably would have rose to their feet together. Maybe that'll happen next year, but the timing is kind of now for that kind of thing. So those are two rock bands off the top of my head. I tend to lean towards rock and roll for these kind of big-time spectacle things. So those are my choices.
Okay, I love last year's performance, J-Lo and Shakira. Also, I loved Bruno Mars. Jane, what are some of your favorites from past years?
I will agree with you on Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars, if you remember, stole the show from Coldplay when Coldplay was the featured performer and Beyonce was another guest, and they both kind of pulled the rug from underneath Coldplay during the Super Bowl, which wasn't great for Coldplay. So I'd say number 3 for me, Bruno Mars. Number 2, Beyonce, without question, with her lineup of girls performing and an all-girl band and various kind of leather costume changes. And for number 1, nothing will ever be probably Prince and Purple Rain. The way he ended his Super Bowl halftime performance in a pouring rainstorm, a big white gauzy background, very dramatic, very Prince, very mysterious. It was wonderful to watch.
Well, we're looking forward to Sunday. Read all Jane's coverage in the Sun website Sunday night. Thanks for joining us, Jane.